Hey, this is Elliot from Punk Rock Radar, and you're watching Crash and Bleed.
Okay, Podcrash, episode 1. Elliot, let me ask you, how did punk rock get onto your radar?
It was my buddy Sam, who I've friends with since elementary school. We used to go to a little Christian private school together, and I don't know how he found out about punk rock. I think it was from his guitar teacher. So, because obviously I knew who like Green Day and Blink-182 were, but I didn't really know that was even considered punk rock at all. That was just like radio alternative rock at the time, or something like that. So he gave me a mix CD that had like the Bad Brains, the Dead Kennedys, Bad Religion, the Misfits, Circle Jerks, and stuff like that on it. And as soon as I put that on, I think the first song was "World Up My Ass" by Circle Jerks. I was like, I'm just blown away. I was like, this is so different than everything else I heard. There's such like a raw energy to it. It's really exciting. It's also like really edgy, and I'm definitely not supposed to be listening to this. I was pretty young at the time, so that's how I discovered it. So I went down like the 80s hardcore route, and then also like the 70s punk route. And also because I was learning guitar at the time, punk rock is super easy to learn on guitar. So that's also another thing. I just learned all of these songs. Like I remember one of the first ones was like Black Flag's Rise Above, that just that, just playing that. So but yeah, that's where I found out about it from, and that's where the whole trajectory started. Probably like middle school. So
Yeah. I feel like I did it kind of backwards as well, like starting with pop punk and then sort of working your way back through the hardcore world, you know?
yeah, I think. Well, it was like barely listened to Green Day. Like it was like the stuff from like the radio, like American Idiot and stuff like that. And most of it was like Christian alternative music because that's like all I was allowed to listen to when I was younger. So a lot of it was like Switchfoot was a band. I don't know if you ever heard of Switchfoot, probably not.
No.
And a couple different bands like that were probably like the only bands that like 90s alternative like Christian rock stuff was what I really started with. So like Green Day was just like that was definitely like something like I latched onto because it was different. You know, like American Idiot was like a politically charged song and stuff like that. But 80s hardcore was the one I dove into deep and became a big fan of before ever like Green Day and stuff, other than knowing about Green Day. So
Yeah. I'm a poser, man. I started with Blink.
it's okay. You're allowed to. I started with worse than Blink, dude. I started with like like gospel music. You got to start somewhere. I don't know how you can't be born into punk rock. So everyone's a poser until eventually you get enough credibility, and then you can call everyone else a poser. So and so then you go back to being a poser, like once you get older and you sell out, and
Yeah.
you get a job.
So, do you remember like the first time you realized punk rock had some kind of an impact on your life? What did it do for you?
Yeah, I would say there's like positive and negative aspects of it. Definitely, like definitely wasn't all positive. A lot of it was positive. Was one, I was already kind of like a class clown, but punk rock has such a distinct like personality. A lot of sarcasm, a lot of just self awareness, self depreciation, and also just a lot of just like saying like what's on your mind and standing out. And that was throughout high school. Like definitely me so help me like get friends to help me stand out, also help me just be like a weird kid in school. Like I was liberty spiking my hair, I was cutting off the sleeves of blazers I got from like the thrift store, trying to put patches on them and not very well and stuff like that, and everything like that. So it was definitely like an aspect of trying to find like an identity and trying to find a personality, and something that I could like latch onto that I think was super impactful. And so that like helped me like a lot of confidence too. A lot of like me just like saying like what's on my mind. Like punk rock gave me like a lot of confidence just to like be myself and not like really give like a fuck about like expectations or like what people thought, or like it's okay to be like just weird and kind of an outcast people. And I've always been attracted to like outcast people as well. Like anybody, like just weird people, strange people, awkward people. Like I've always had like I wanted to like I like being around those people a lot. So and also like made like a lot of empath stuff too. So I like hung out with like a lot of kids from bad homes and stuff, and like my cousin, he was like a lot of people like that. I got wrapped in after high school and stuff like that. So I always try to like help them out and stuff like that, and I don't know. I felt like it was like some sort of moral obligation that these people needed somebody to be um like a friend with and stuff like that, because I was a little more put together than like I would say almost all of my friends after high school. Like I think out of my friend group, I was like the only one who had like a somewhat consistent job and a car. And so I was basically the shuttle bus for all of the parties, all of the punk rock shows, all of the everything. And so like I was just like friends with like a lot of people who were just didn't have jobs, had drug problems, had all sorts of issues with home life and family. And that's like I felt like punk rock also like let me like you know find like value in that and want to be a part of that and want to be uh around broken people. And so I think a lot of it probably also my Christian upbringing a little bit too. I'm not going to mock like religion all the time. Like there's nice Christians out there who do a lot of nice things for people, and they also like bringing in the broken and be like come in and stuff. Hey, you hear about Jesus, but whatever. That's kind of I don't know. I think I rambled there for a second. I forget what your question even was.
Just what the impact of punk rock was, but I guess you answered it. I
Oh
mean,
yes, yeah,
like,
yeah,
where the
yeah,
hell were you when I was at high school? Like, I was the only person that listened to punk. There was nobody
yeah,
else until Blink took off with the
yeah.
2003 album. Then everyone that used to kick my ass was into Blink and Green Day and The Offspring, and I was like, what the fuck? This used to be like my thing, my special thing, and now it's kind of on MTV every day, you know?
It felt like there wasn't like almost anybody who listened to punk. I think it was like the Misfits was kind of I forget how the Misfits kind of got, but like in my school, they kind of at least had like a somewhat maybe it was like My Chemical Romance covered them, I think, or something like that. I guess emo was kind of kicking off when I was in high school, so but I remember like just like Avenged Sevenfold was huge, but oh, is that's right? Zachy Vengeance from Avenged Sevenfold also wore Misfit shirts and stuff like that. So I think there's like a lot of bands like so the Misfits became like something to talk about, and people like the Misfits. I remember that for the most part. But overall, I feel like not that many people at my high school like punk at all. And I was definitely like the only kid in school wearing spiky hair, but I was never bullied necessarily. Like I think people because I think I was charismatic enough to make friends with like a lot of people. So I was definitely like getting into trouble. Not like the best kid. My dad was like, hated it. Hated that I was into punk music. Like he still despises it. I remember he came over to my house recently and he like looked at all the records and stickers on the wall. He's like, "Oh, you still like that stuff?" I was like, "Okay, all right, dude. Yeah, judge a little less openly. All right, maybe say it on the way home." But yeah, I was. But you were bullied.
Oh
You
yeah,
got. You got.
I was
Yeah.
pushed downstairs, pushed into nettle bushes. I
Mm,
had the worst of it. I got beat up for being gay, and I wasn't even gay. So
that
no,
sounds.
like
Yeah.
you never saw
I
gay
got called
people back
gay.
then.
I got called gay. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I feel like I
Yeah.
took the
There's.
beating for those people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Hey, there you go, man. You're a martyr. No, I remember because I was wearing like a lot of like really tight, like ripped up pants and stuff too. And I remember like these like preppy girls were just like being like, calling me like a girl or being like, is that a girl or a guy or something like that. And like, just basically saying I'm a little pussy. But I remember not caring. I remember not even giving a shit. And I think I just like, I don't know. Made some like humping air gesture towards them and stuck my tongue out and did like one of these or something. Like I think that's what it was. And they were like, "Oh my." So I remember, yeah, never necessarily getting bullied. Elementary school, the only time I got bullied is when my dad made me do football. So, God, so my dad made me do fucking football, and like the kids on the football team were fucking dicks. Like, They were like total assholes. I remember this dude, Ross, who was like the coach's son. Like I remember I happened to get past him one time during a scrimmage, and from that point on, like, and his dad yelled at him. He just hated me, and him and his friends would just go out of their way to knock me to the ground and stuff like that. So
Oh.
I was kind of like fuck football after that. So I don't really watch too many sports.
I fucking hated them with a passion, man. But how did you actually feel when those bands got popular? Do you feel like they infiltrated the jock culture a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. So even stuff after that, I mean, it's like I have like Fallout Boy. I remember like Fallout Boy songs being on like uh played it like on commercials for like for gyms. I remember that there was some dude who was like on a treadmill running. He was like a jock and he was listening to like a Fallout Boy song, like Dance Dance or something like that. So that was also like that's kind of also I mean, I know it's not like necessarily most people's thought of like a punk band, but I mean, Fall Out Boy was like an alternative, pop punk band in a lot of ways. So a lot of people related to that music too that were not like cool kids, that were loser kids. Like My Chemical Romance, even though it infiltrated jock culture, the people who became really, really into it, they were always kind of awkward, shy, dorky type people. So, like, if you were like obsessed with like all the members of My Chemical Romance, like you were not one of the popular kids. so, I mean, probably like My Chemical Romance and Green Day were like the two biggest. They were huge and so massive when
Yeah.
it comes to that type of music. So Blink was not talked about as much. Like they were a little before my time, actually, like before high school. Like they were like, I remember my friend getting a Blink 182 birthday cake for his sixth grade birthday party. So, but who's the
Yeah.
biggest fan for you? It was Blink, right? You said they blew up.
Yeah, it had to be
Yeah,
because that was 2003 when I left high school. So I
yeah,
actually didn't go to the last year of high school. Like I skipped school every day because that's how bad the beatings were. But that was so weird to see, like how it infiltrated jock and popular girl culture. Like everyone
yeah,
knew that "I Miss You" song. It was like, really, that song? That's
yeah.
like the creepiest, weirdest, gothiest looking song. That's the song that resonates with you. Always as
Yeah.
well. That was a big one. I fucking hated it, man. Like I said to you, I still want my money back from 20 years ago for that album.
Oh, Untitled, you hate it that much? I like Untitled. I think it's decent. I was not a Blink fan though for a long time. Like I was not really a fan of a lot of pop punk stuff. It came like later, like I revisited it because I was said I was like into Liberty Spikes and cutting off the sleeves of my blazer and listening to did Dead Kennedys were a big band. Like Misfits and Dead Kennedys, they were like two of the biggest band. Like I love the Dead Kennedys. Like there is not like people don't write songs like Jello Biafra does anymore. So which I think at some point you're going to ask me about punk icons. I remember you talked about that. So,
That's
I was thinking
that's
maybe Jello, but yeah,
well, that's exactly where this is going. So let's get
yeah,
deep
yeah,
into this now, like, because just for a bit of backstory for anyone and for you who don't know me, like, that was the reason for me to get into hardcore, to discover millions of Dead Cops, Dead Kennedys, Minor Threat, all that stuff. Went super deep. I've got a pretty decent hardcore collection now. I think me and Rat
yeah.
Patrol from your Discord, we can go back and forth on obscure hardcore bands like all fucking day.
I'm
But
sure it did. Yeah.
who would you say is the most iconic punk rocker of all time?
Well, I mean, I guess it's like iconic to me, or just like iconic in the general sense of the
I
term.
mean,
It's probably going to be
it's
iconic for me. So it's not going to be who you think. I mean, obviously, I consider Jello Biafra. Jello Biafra is like definitely embodies what I view because punk rock to me was never like just the music. Like once you hear like the Circle Jerks, World of My Ass, you hear all the political stuff, you hear like what the Dead Kennedys are singing about, you realize that there's like a lot more going on here, and the political and cultural aspects of punk rock were just as important as the sound to me. Like I was invested in the lore, the culture, the rules, the aesthetic, the community of punk rock, probably even more than the music in a lot of ways. Like that was a huge part of the drive, especially I remember being in high school and being like the only kid into punk and watching these punk documentaries and like just crews of dudes with like studded leather jackets and like Liberty Spikes just walking around like the street together. I'm like, where the fuck is that at? Like, I would love to have like a group of friends, which I eventually got. which I did kind of get. It was a little bit more of a misfit crew of a mishmash of different people, but it was. I mean, that's what it is, right? That's what punk rock is. So it's attracting the misfit, the loser, the outcast. So Jello was definitely in consideration. I would say not too many other people from the '80s. I was trying to think of like who really like inspired me, but if I'm talking the most iconic to me that has affected me the most in my life, who I think embodies punk rock more than anybody else, it is going to be Pat the Bunny, aka Johnny Hobo. Have you ever heard of Pat the Bunny?
It rings a bell, and
Okay,
I'm trying to think of a band.
so Pat the Bunny is a folk punk artist from like the mid 2000s. I think that's when he started. Then he formed the band, quote unquote band. It was mostly just him, Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains. And then there was also the Wingnut Dishwasher Union and then a Ramshackle Glory. So these are all bands that he has been in throughout his life. Pat the Bunny was a homeless heroin addict who played acoustic guitar for money and wrote a bunch of songs about life, just the punk scene and all of his political musings while basically being homeless, hopping couch to couch, and basically recording these songs whenever he could, whenever friends let him stay at his house and record them. So there's a big collection on YouTube called Fight Like Hell. I'm not YouTube, sorry, on Spotify, on streaming, anywhere you can get it, called Fight Like Hell. Which has like a lot of his scattered recordings and stuff like that. And this guy was super important to me because to me, the lyrics from Pat the Bunny, you'll have to check them out. I'll have to show you them sometimes. They embody punk like so much. Like you can just feel like the passion and the rawness. And like this guy was living it. Like he was living it. He was homeless. He was hopping street to street. He was a loser kid all of his life from a damaged home, which is how he ended up in this predicament. Addicted to drugs and basically couch surfing. And he wrote all these songs of his experience of traveling around the country, hopping on trains, busking, and stuff like that. And let me pull up some lyrics here. This is the song Harmony Parking Lot Song. Um, and some of the lyrics are this one's for every drug problem that got stopped in its tracks by a trip to rehab. I'll miss railing pills with you in the park. This one's for every friend who decided not to drop out and stay at their mom's house. I'll miss you on the street corner when it gets too dark. Because I'm crying about the crack house that got torn down in the center of town. And tonight I'm laughing at the Army recruitment station, lying vacant. And then this part gets me every time. Once you hear this song, this chorus gives like chills for some reason to this day. So here's to the rubble, a brick through every window, a casket buried 6 feet deep for everybody's hero. Here's to our lives being meaningless and how beautiful it is because freedom doesn't have a purpose. Like just killer lyrics, man.
I mean,
And
should we one up this and just like listen to the song together?
yeah, do you want to check it out? Yeah,
Yeah.
Harmony lot. Yeah, yeah. So this is the most iconic. This to me, I busked and played acoustic guitar, and me and my buddies formed a band. We had went by many names. It was not a real band. It was kind of a real band. We just wrote songs and we played on the streets. We played at the metro station. I was the only one with a car, and I was at the time working at a goat farm in this kind of like out there in the country. 2 days a week, I would go and milk the goats and help pack the cheese, and I would get like maybe $200 for doing that, and the rest of the time we spent busking, getting money, drinking alcohol, getting fucked up, going to concerts, and it was uh, like not the best time. There was obviously a lot of issues that went on with living like that, but it was one of the best times of my life, dude. It was the most fond memories like I've ever had. Like the most when I think of fun, that's like the last time I felt like I truly had fun. Even going to concerts now, it doesn't hit the same, man, when you were younger. You know what I mean? So, you mind if I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go on.
I, yeah, what's your most memorable concert?
I've never seen a band play live.
Really?
I've never once been like I know it's hard to understand, but like
Okay.
because I was getting beaten up a lot, I just stopped leaving the house. I had a complete
Okay.
phobia of going out. So that would have
Really?
been the age for going to concerts. And then
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that, no one comes here. And now I've got a complete phobia of like crowds of people. I just can't do the concert thing.
Really? I'll have to
Yeah.
fly there and take you to a concert, man. So you're not a big fan of anything past like what, 2001, 2003, or
2003.
1999?
Yeah.
2003. Okay, so 2003 past that. There's a ton of bands you totally like, dude. 100%.
All right, let's show me some new music.
Very raw.
This one's for every drug problem that got stopped in its tracks by trip to rehab. I'll miss railing pills with you in the park. This one's for every friend that decided not to drop out and stayed at their mom's house. I'll miss you on the street corner when it starts to get dark, because tonight I'm crying about the crack house that got torn down in the center of town. And tonight I'm laughing about the army recruiting.
So this
station.
vocalist, this is the guy that you would label the most iconic punk.
To me personally, like these songs mean so much to me, and this style of writing means so much to me. So just wait for this chorus to hit. Ready for this?
Yeah, man.
Here we go.
Station, lying vacant. Here's to the rubble. A brick through every window. A casket buried 6 feet deep for everybody's heroes. Here's to our lives being meaningless, and how beautiful it is, because freedom doesn't have a purpose.
Like that line is so good, where it's like, here's to life being meaningless and how beautiful that is, because freedom doesn't have a purpose. I mean, I feel like that's like the true punk rock spirit, like a desire to be free for no other reason than just that. A desire to, like, to reject kind of like the structure and like oppressive natures and things that are going to do that for no other reason that you desire freedom. There's no other reason to have it. There's no purpose to it. It's just something that innately in you desire, and we desire. So I don't know. It's lines like that are so good. But what do you think of this so far?
Well, I'm curious as to when this was recorded.
I think around like 2007-ish, 2008. So
Okay. And it's, I imagine, because it sounds like maybe they recorded it on a street, or was this done like in a
yes, it
studio?
sounds like a live concert, right? Yeah, it's basically just a raw, live, unfiltered recording for the most part, which is a lot of his stuff. So we'll finish this one. You show me something, I'll show you another one by this guy, but just wait to the end here.
This one's for every arsonist that got locked down before they burnt the cities down. I'll miss seeing the skyscrapers on fire. This one's for every friend that got taken off the street so the upper class could sleep, so the upper class could sleep. I'll miss the spray paint and slash tires, because tonight I can't smell the pigs around the corner on the shortness of your breath. And tonight I can't taste the whiskey from across the room in the stumbling of your steps. Here's to the rubble, a brick through every window, a casket buried 6 feet deep for
They've gone all
everybody's
leftover crap.
heroes. Here's
Yep.
to our lives being meaningless, and how beautiful it is, because freedom doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah, it's very it's very adjacent to like leftover crack style of writing too, you know. The lyrics. I mean, it's awesome. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was thinking bomb the music industry as well. The writing style is a bit Jeff Rosen stuff.
You like them a lot, don't you? You put one of their records in your top 10. I love Bomb the Music Industry, dude. I think my favorite was Escape from Long Island. What is that one called? To Live or Die in Long Island.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
To Leave or Die. Yeah. That one's so good. That final song, Psych, Life is Awesome. Oh my God, bro. One of my favorite songs of all time. The lyrics are
Yeah,
so good
man.
in that too. I'm all about like lyrics, man. Like lyrics and one because I'm like a songwriter too. Like I write lyrics and everything, and just something that like hits really deep and that's something really raw and real, which I feel like Johnny Hobo does. Like it sounds like shit the recording, you know what I mean? But I mean, you like that type of stuff, right? Like I like the rawness of it, right? Like you
I mean, I
appreciate that
don't,
type of style.
I don't listen to it and go, "This sounds like terrible." I listen to it and go,
Yeah.
"It sounds like punk." Like it's easy
Yes.
to get into for me, you know.
Yes, no. That's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, on the surface level, this is something that's like super raw and just like it sounds like a live concert, but I think that adds to the punkness of it, like you said. Like that is punk, you know what I mean? Just we don't have a studio, we don't have nothing. This guy is an acoustic guitar, we've got a couple friends, let's record an album. Let's just scream into the mic one take, and this is what we got. And that's punk to me. That's what Johnny Hobo kind of embodies. It's just like let's just make fucking music no matter what. Like we're limited here. You know, he didn't even have a recording. This is not even an independent release. This is like a basement release. You hanging out with your buddies and you record it on an iPhone is what it is. And there's nothing more punk than that to me. It's just, fuck the limitations, just make music and stuff. And I feel like that's what Johnny Hobo embodies. That inspired me when, we would pick up acoustic guitars, and my cousin would he bought got a banjo from somewhere, didn't know how to play it, and we learned playing it live together where he tried to figure it out. And so he had the banjo. I sent you that song one time in the Discord, that 90 seconds in space, that like live. I think you mentioned it. Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was my cousin who like been playing banjo for a week, and he just picked it up, and he's incredibly musically talented. But and I don't know, man. That was always like punk to us. Just go there. And we're gonna play songs. We're gonna write songs. We're gonna cover songs, and that's like always what it was. So that's why I feel like Johnny Hobo embodies punk more than a lot. Obviously, there's more famous, iconic punk people. You know what I mean? There's more people who did more for the broader scene, more for punk music in general. But to me personally, that is what like punk truly is at its like roots core. It's just just raw, unfiltered, just anarchy in a lot of ways is what it sounds like. So give me something you want to show me. So I want to check out something you got.
I've got an EP that I want to show you. I want us to do full commentary on the EP because it's only like 8 minutes long.
Sure, we can do that.
You haven't heard the band Tozzy Babe, have you?
No, I haven't done Tazi, babe.
Well, they're a Czechoslovakian or Hungarian or Slovenian. I can't quite remember. I want to say the EP is called Dejuzi.
I don't know what the name of the EP is. So
I think you'll like this.
all right, let's go for it.
So track 1 is the same title as the EP. Dezushi.
I like the bass already. Real quick, where are they from again? I can't remember what you said. Is it Germany?
Either Hungary, Czechoslovakia, or Yugoslavia.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm gonna look
okay.
that up actually.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently Yugoslavia has not been a country since 1992, so I'm just learning that for the first time now. I guess they got invaded or something, or maybe an empire fell or something like that, I don't know. But they're a Slovenian band. They're called a Slovenian band. These songs, they honestly stick with me. Like, I can imagine like some pop punk fans checking this out and like not really digging it. But you get into track 2, track 3, track 4, like the songs stick with me like for real.
It has like an ambient kind of zone out quality to it. It's like black metal. It has the same appeal.
Yeah, I need to remind myself to take some pictures of my issue of this vinyl because I've got like the 2015 reissue. It comes with a fancy booklet, which I think is translated into English. I think. But yeah, so if everything went to plan, that's what you should be looking at now. Nice little fancy booklet there. So this is the next song, and I think this is like a famous funeral melody, maybe around Eastern Europe. Someone in the comments probably knows. Every song's super short as well.
Oh yeah, this makes me think of just like an EP punk band is what I call it, which is like I will go on and buy a bunch of random punk EPs, anything I can find, and a lot of it is kind of that hardcore, kind of like ambient hardcore, I'd almost call it. Definitely the gothic element. I'm trying to collect all the 7 inches right now, but we'll continue listening to this. I like it. Here we go. Here, this is this is gothic. Oh, that's kind of cool.
How do you think like the original hardcore kids would have reacted to this, like coming out in 1980 maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they would have. I mean, I feel like Black Flag had some kind of ambient hardcore sounding songs back in the day as well, and you know, if they can listen to the Germs, we can listen to Tazi Babe. So
yeah. Yeah, so Wikipedia just has these down as a typical hardcore band, but this is so much more than a typical hardcore band. It's second wave, post-gothic, hardcore, punk rock, I don't know, noise. I think it's hard not to be inspired by like the gothic elements, because that's the architecture like around Eastern Europe, you know?
Yeah.
I think John would love this. He would absolutely love it.
John would hate this. John would be in absolute misery listening to this. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of ambient noise going on here, but you gotta have like a certain mindset sometimes to get into this. So, like the band Goon.
Oddly enough, I think I can play this entire EP on guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
All the scratchy, distorted parts?
Well, not exactly like that, but yeah, something similar.
Yeah. I mean, I'd get an EP of this. I like that oi drumming.
Yeah. I think we got 2 more songs here. I love it when girls shout as well, like that gets me, man.
I was listening to some of the Luna Chicks not too long ago, and I was never a huge fan of Riot Girl stuff, but it wasn't as bad as I remembered it. I kind of was digging it, actually.
I wouldn't call the Luna Chicks a Riot Girl, man.
What would you call them?
They're just a punk rock band, but they've got like they do like the skate punk thing as well sometimes.
I guess they just get categorized in the Riot Girl genre because they're an all-girl band. So.
You feeling this one?
Yeah, I like this, like that band arrow. It's almost like an Agent Orange type riff.
That's where you get me, man.
I get you.
See, I sing along to this. I don't know what the fuck lyrics I'm singing, but I'm just yelling like, it's great.
That's about right. I got some new stuff I want to show you that I think you'll like. I got 2 things here. It's very, in the vein of stuff like this.
What do you think of the imagery, like some of this cover art?
I love the art, dude. Like, I was about to show you some stuff that I have. It's one of my favorite things about 80s punk is, especially 7 inches, is that art style. Stuff like this. I actually love that. Like, it's just fucking paper, printed paper. Like, I love those. Just, monochrome.
Right, this is the last track.
I like this.
I know some stuff that looks like that.
Yeah, I love the punk aesthetic and the punk art, definitely. It was so much better in the 80s. The 90s art, it was just not as good. Punk started getting, like, I would say the 2000 art might be the worst. There are some terrible album covers in the 2000s.
I'm kind of looking forward to Radar talking about album covers, like ranking album covers. Like, I really think you should do that, man.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing something like that, or like listing our favorite album covers of all time and stuff like that. Album art's important, man. It's part of the experience. It's part of the atmosphere.
So overall, then, how would you rate this band?
Look,
Keep in mind,
this
is the only release they have. They only have this EP.
Yeah, no, I would collect this on an EP. I'd put it on my stack with all my other EPs. It has an ambience to it, like a dark, gritty ambience, and I don't mind stuff like this. Like, it's not my go-to thing I'm gonna grab and listen to. This is something that, like, I'm not going to listen to on streaming or YouTube. I am gonna would have the physical copy, put it on my record player, and listen to it. And I feel like that's the time I listen to stuff like this, because, like, I don't really listen to too much of stuff like this outside of, like, I buy the records and I put them on. For some reason, it feels like the most appropriate way to listen to, like, old punk like that, especially ones that have, like, very limited release and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I would buy the EP, I'd put it on and listen to it. But, it's not like my go-to genre that I talk about too much, but I liked it. I didn't mind that at all. It was very, very ambient. There was definitely a dark gothicness to it. There was a grittiness to it. The vocals were good. Just this kind of, like, a girl screaming and whatever in some sort of European language. I forget what you said they were. The blah blah blah. So do you like finding? Oh, this is 1986. The Tazi Babe. You like finding, like, rare, obscure stuff from the 80s, right? Like, that's one of your big things.
It's more interesting to me nowadays if it's female vocals, because I spent like 20 years with no female vocalists, so now that's
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think. Do you like Susie and the Banshees?
Yeah, it's okay. That's not my go-to though.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't like UK music.
I want to show you. Do you mind here for a second? Not going to be a full thing, but there's two newer bands that make me think that you'd probably like them. The first one I'm going to show you is a band called Split System, and the song is called Alone Again. And I'm curious what you think of this, if you'll like it or not. So...
What's the story with this band then?
This is a newer band that came out that I thought you'd like the style of.
I just wanna be the best I can, even if I'm slipping all the time. I know I gotta stop being senseless every time I need to close my eyes. You know I'm terrible when alone.
It's good. It's slow though.
Yeah, it's a little slow. They got faster songs, but yeah.
Think about my world without you. Don't wanna say goodbye. Don't wanna find another one. Don't wanna stop.
Yeah, I like the shouty parts.
Mm-hmm.
Wanna be alone again. Don't wanna say goodbye. Don't wanna find another one. Don't wanna start it over. Don't
Yeah, this is not something I would hate, like if it just came on randomly. I could nod along to it, it's good.
Okay.
But again, it doesn't make me wanna know more.
We gotta find something for you here, man. Alright, let's pause this one. Just gonna go on the same, and let me try to get you with another one here. Alright, so this is a Goon, God's Only Option Now.
Dude, Rat Patrol would love this.
He recommended this to me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good, I picked up on that then.
Yeah, you did.
There you go.
You could dead drum to this, man. What do you think? Is this enticing you?
It entices me to know more about the band. I don't know about paying money for it.
That album art's fucking fire there, right?
Is it a cloud or a mountain?
I don't know what's going on. It just looks dope. It looks like a cloud, I think, with a bunch of weird chains.
Yeah, see, that is interesting.
Yeah, it's got to me it reminds me of, do you like Off at all?
Is that Keith's band?
Yeah, Keith's newer band, Off, yeah.
I've heard of it. I haven't checked much out.
He had a record called like Free, I think it was called Free LSD or LSD, which had like a little bit of like kind of like ambient, kind of almost like slightly psychedelic, I don't know how to describe it, like psychedelic distortion to it. And it reminds me of like a hardcore version of that. Where is the band? Why isn't the band not showing up? Off, where are you at? I think it's Off with an exclamation mark on fucking Spotify. That's right. What's the album called? It's called Free LSD, yeah. So, you might like that record too. But you got something for me, something from the UK?
Yeah, the singer of this band is really sexy, man.
Is he that good looking?
Alright, you ready for this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, this is my all-time favourite UK band, and they are kind of modern, although I would say around 2003 modern.
Okay. Let's see if I know who it is. No, I never heard of them. I like this.
I think John would dig this.
I think he would think it's okay. I think he'd like it. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. This is fun. I never heard of this band.
They're most.
I do like street and kind of hardcore punk, female punk vocalists quite a bit. It's nice. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say the most like popular thing they did was open for Lagwagon and NoFX in 2006, 2007.
Really?
They never really got any further than that. Great vocal performance coming up now as well.
Take back this bottle of liquor 'cause I found some and get some
Yeah. That's good. What's the band called? Tat or Soho Lights?
Tat.
Okay.
And the singer is called Tatiana Di Maria, if you want to look at a picture of her.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Cleveland!
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, what would you rate that out of 10?
That was like a solid like 7.5. Like it was an enjoyable, fun song. Like I liked it. So the singing was good. It was upbeat. That's the one thing I like about especially street punk. I feel like street punk is weirdly positive, especially like the late 90s, early 2000s street punk. It's always like, we can get through this together. Oi, we're like a family. I love you guys like brothers. Like I love stuff like that. Like I like positive punk music a lot. So I feel like that was like felt like a positive punk song.
Yeah.
So too much negativity in the world, man. I like stuff like that. I no, go ahead. Sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, since we were getting weird for a second before Tat, do you know the Dresden Dolls?
Yeah, I don't like them.
You don't like the Dresden Dolls?
I'm not. John's wife is a big fan of the Dresden Doll. They are too. It's too theatrical for me. It's a little too much. It's a little too theatrical. I haven't been able to like them, but I've only listened to bits and pieces of them. So maybe there is a song that's good. You can show me next. Definitely. I'm gonna show you a newer band that has a female vocalist and see if you like this real quick. This is a band called Day Drinker. So this was one. This is not no Rat Patrol didn't show me this one. So this is all me. So Rat Patrol has good taste in music. So I'll say that. You know, I also the nicest guy I've ever met. Like so. This is Day Drinker. The song is called Child of Generation X. You ready for this?
Yep. What year is this?
2024.
Instantly, I'm hearing the production quality that I don't like. That modern production, very loud, very distorted quality. You know?
Yeah. But the vocals are good, right? You like those?
Yeah. The music's good too.
Yeah.
Just out of all the music we've listened to so far, the kick is the loudest that it's ever been.
Yes.
Like my speakers, them like boom, boom with the kick, you know. Little bit of a Distillers vibe.
Definitely a little bit of Brody. Yeah. You like the Distillers?
Oh yeah, love them, man.
I love the Distillers. Yeah, me too.
I think I would rather listen to the Distillers over Rancid at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
It's close. I love Rancid though, so I can't say Rancid is one of my favorite bands of all time. So, but I love the Distillers.
I can appreciate the fact that this is from this year and there's no like
Right?
fake instruments.
Yeah, this also, it's like, you just don't hear stuff like this too often anymore. So when I found this, I was like, this is such a throwback to like 2003, 2004 era street punk stuff, like the Distillers and what you showed me as well. I feel like it's kind of similar. Tat.
Yeah.
So there's good music coming out, man, you know?
Very easy to get into. Just that production holds me back.
I got you.
the thing about modern skate punk as well. The kick's too loud.
Yeah, I don't like modern skate punk's production. There's a few bands that do it well. Like Left Bank and Scooped Up, if you consider them that, where it sounds a lot more raw. Like definitely skate punk. I feel like the appeal is the technicality, definitely, but also like there is a certain like rawness to 90s skate punk that I feel like modern skate punk doesn't capture as much. Like a lot of people were talking about this new band called Chaser, and I'm not gonna like hate on them or nothing. They're like really talented guys that can write good songs. I just find it so boring because the production's so clean, and it's like, yeah, this is technical, this is impressive, but like I can do clean for some stuff. Like, you know, I listen to a lot of pop punk. Like in the 2010s, I got into a lot of that pop punk that was coming out, like the Story So Far, the Wonder Years, because that scene was huge and it was around me, and a lot of my friends showed me it, and all of a sudden, you know, everybody's listening to this, and I get into it, and then I grow to appreciate it, and I really like it. I think a lot of it's really good, and that stuff, some of it is overproduced. I definitely like the rawer sounding stuff, but like some of the skate punk stuff, it's so overproduced. It's crazy to me. I'm like, this stuff is so layered, and the vocals are so like it's a pop vocals, and the guitar almost sounds like a keyboard, like how it plays. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So, but that was what I wanted to show you. You wanted to show me. What'd you want to show me? It's something. You had something weird.
I do want
for
you
me,
to
right?
listen to a Dresden Dolls song.
Oh yes, go ahead. I'll give it another shot.
Okay.
If I'm not anything, I'm open-minded to music.
So this is the Dresden Dolls with Girl Anachronism, and this track is a stick breaker for me. I can almost guarantee I will break my stick on this track.
Oh, it's drumming to it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's my favourite song by this band as well.
What's this? Girl Anachronism? Okay.
Girl Anachronism, yeah.
Anachronism, oh my gosh. Thank you.
Just watch what's going on the drums with this guy then. This is Brian Viglione from the Dresden Dolls, doing a little practice session.
I was a drummer? Okay.
Yeah. He's stepping it up a little bit. And this is kind of how I approach drumming this song as well. You need to see what he does on this.
Yeah, I wanted us to do commentary on the music video, but it's full of like mime, especially by Brian here, and I did anticipate that you wouldn't like the video.
This guy is better than Travis Barker, if you ask me.
He's doing a very similar style to Travis Barker. Not that they sound the same, but how he moves on the drums reminds me of Barker actually a good bit.
There's some metal coming up in a bit.
You see what I mean by, like, if I drum this, I do break a stick.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of very precise, like frantic, rigid movements, but it's all like very rhythmic. Oh damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Fucking double kick. Where would you put this guy? Say, like, out of Brooks Wackerman, Josh Freese, Travis Barker. Where would you rate this guy?
I have no idea, dude. I'm not the guy that has to rate drummers, so like I'd have to listen to more of their stuff, but I'm not a drummer, so it's hard for me to rate drummers, you know what I mean? Like, I can appreciate when somebody's good. Like, this is talented. This guy's very talented. So, I couldn't say, though, up against Brooks and, Jordan Burns from Strung Out and all those guys. I'm not sure. What's his name from Alkaline Trio?
Derek.
Derek, yeah. I mean, this guy's a beast.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, one of my all-time favourites. Since you don't like the Dresden Dolls, I'm going to imagine that you don't like World Inferno.
Never heard of him.
Can I show you a World Inferno song?
Yeah, you can show me World Inferno. But real quick, I want to ask you, because, obviously you do all the bed drumming videos and stuff like that, and you don't have, like, a normal drum set, though, right? And I think you said before you don't think you could drum on a normal drum set?
The last time I played drums was on stage at school in front of an audience, and I literally had to have somebody else sit with me to do the hi-hat stuff, because so he had a stick, but I had 2 sticks, so I drummed the rest of the drums. Like, it was a god-awful experience, but I know I don't have, like, that rhythm. I can't do that thing.
You can't do that. You don't think you could? I think you could do it. You don't think so? You have no... Huh, I think you could do it, dude. Yeah, so I got faith in you. But we'll check out World Inferno.
I think I'm just fast. I'm not good. I'm just fast.
You have rhythm though.
So this is Eula Berry on bass from the Star Fucking Hipsters. She's on the first album cover. That's what enticed me into this band.
Okay, so what this is making me think of right off the bat, I'm thinking here, is Gogol Bordello, right? Bordello?
Yeah, like the gypsy punk band.
The gypsy punk stuff, it has kind of that same energy a little bit, just like a less distinct, frantic vocal performance here by because I'm a big fan of Gogol Bordello, but they're also a bit theatrical with the kind of the chaos and stuff. So I like this a little more than the Dresden Dolls, I'll say that. Yeah, so.
This is my favourite song by this band.
A little bit of ska style here. Maybe like a little streetlight-ish at times.
And then they go all hardcore, man. So this doesn't come too far away from the original punk idea for you?
No, this is fine. Like, I'm not, like, this is, like, I'd be curious to listen to the album, so I'll say that. I'm enticed with the Dresden Dolls. I was like, nah. This is a little bit more in that vein of, like, the chaotic Streetlight Manifesto style or Gogol Bordello. So, even has some of the same cadence and energy as, like, a Buddha Glow Skulls song.
Yeah, yeah.
Not bad, not bad. Also makes you think of, not necessarily, but thinking of kind of theatrical punk adjacent things like the Cherry Poppin' Daddies that were popular for a little bit with the Zoot Suit Riot. You know that song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of similar to that in a little bit of ways. But do you like Streetlight Manifesto?
I've heard a couple of songs. I do like how crazy some of it sounds, but again, not
Yeah.
really the kind of band that I'm gonna like spend money on.
Okay. You like Go-Go Bordello, or you don't listen to too much of their stuff either?
I wouldn't buy anything from them. I do like it, but just wouldn't
You
buy
do
anything
like it?
from them.
Okay, let me play a Streetlight song here for you and see something that I think kind of is very similar to what you have there. Not that one. But you've listened to Streetlight. You probably have heard this song, but I just want to get your opinion on it. Have you heard this?
I know the album cover.
Yeah.
Story goes like that. They would not put the money in the guns. Parents, everything it out. Nothing to worry about. Even the band don't even from a blind. If every is smooth, then you walk away a rich man. So when it begins, everybody walks in. Could this be the way? You're the day that they're gonna win. It's not, and I'll bet on the bet. The black cat man never wins in the end, so.
That's kind of that
Yeah.
theatrical flair. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Everything went on when he stumbled upon. We know it's gonna be another mix in the end. Silence. It all went down like it's not the night before. I don't wanna hear it.
What year is this? 2006 or 7?
2003, I believe. So right at your end point. So you should still like this one.
Story doesn't end here, don't be
But is this when they started, or did they were they around before that?
Well, so they were Catch 22 before, which have you listened to the Catch 22 record?
I haven't
From
listened
the
to it. I
90s.
know of the band.
Oh, you never heard it? Oh, I gotta play you something like Catch 22 as well. So they were Catch 22, and then I believe, what's his name, the lead singer of the band. I'm just like blanking on it. Whatever. Talkalfi or something like that. Whatever his fucking name is. He started Streetlight Manifesto, so this is the first Streetlight Manifesto record technically. So, but I would consider the first Catch 22 record to be the true debut because it sounds very similar to this. So.
Yeah, I heard that bass guy on YouTube, the bass teacher,
Yes.
listens to Lagwagon and shit. I heard him do a Streetlight song and it was like a pirate call kind of thing. That reminds
Yeah,
me of
this-
World Inferno as well.
Yes. I think you'll like this record. You should give this album another chance.
Reminds me of Less Than Jake with like the fast ska.
Sure, I can see that. Some of the upstrokes on like Automatic are similar from Losing Streak. There's kind of more like rhythmic strummy upstrokes. But this is cool here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, right? Here we go. The drumming's crazy too.
Way better than bands like Real Big Fish.
I mean,
I've
I
never
hate
got
Real Big
into-
Fish though.
Yeah.
No, I hate. Hate's a strong word. I don't like that type of ska too much.
Can you imagine
We
how
want the finish-
crazy band practice would be?
Oh, with this, I mean, yeah, it's it's like a whole orchestra almost in like a lot of ways. Yeah, they got a lot of band members. I've seen them live a couple times, so I'll say this: they're not the most charismatic live, but they do play the songs very well. So they don't really talk to the audience too much or have too much crowd interaction. So I mean, so you've never been to a show, which you definitely should. We should definitely fly over to your neck of the woods and yank you out of the house and take you to a punk show. But do you like watching like live footage of concerts, and do you like live albums and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way that I can see stuff live, so I do
Yeah.
a lot of that. And obviously,
Yeah.
like, my favourite kind of live albums are like the NoFX one, the Lagwagon one, that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yes, yeah. The live and the dive stuff, or the they've actually gotten worse live by NoFX. So
Yeah.
that was actually my first NoFX record I ever bought. I thought it was I didn't realize it was a live record. It made me fall in love with the band because of just like Mike's wittiness on stage. It made it like I wanted to see these guys live. They're very funny. So definitely. I mean, do you have something else you want to show me here?
This band, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I think them called Makavaskan. They're a Swedish band, and I heard this song. It was recorded in 2014, so it's one of the only modern songs that I heard, and I went, this is amazing. I have to absolutely buy this album.
Okay, let's check it out. I like this. Yeah, this is nice. This is a good vibe.
Who does it remind you of?
80s new wave, a little bit of Susie and the Banshee, like early. Also, randomly making me think of a modern artist that does more kind of avant-garde pop stuff that I think you might like. I'd be curious.
This is my go-to song to like show people.
It's nice. I'm going to show you something after this relatively mainstream. I have no idea if you'll like it, but I'm curious what you'll think of this, because you seem to like you do like kind of ambient stuff, maybe a little bit more poppy at times, right? As long as it's, so you're not just, I gotta listen to obscure 80s hardcore bands no one's heard of. You branch out from that, so you like all sorts of things. You like the theatrical Dresden Dolls, so look at you, you're more open-minded than I would have originally assumed. Based on your hard outer persona of such a tough guy.
This band's stage banter is really bland, so I wouldn't look up live footage of this band. But they're a great band, one of my all-time favourite bands now.
I'm going to show you an artist called Phoebe Bridgers. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
She's very popular. So this is a very popular artist, but I'm curious what you'll think of the song, because occasionally I like some Phoebe Bridgers, so it's definitely kind of in an indie rock territory here, but I'm curious what you'll think of this song.
I think the most popular thing I've ever heard of is Green Day.
Okay, I think Green Day is probably more popular than Phoebe Bridgers, so... But here, this is Phoebe Bridgers in the song called... We're getting weird. I'm just experimenting. I'm just throwing stuff out and see if you like it. I'm curious. So, tell me what you think of this. Ready?
I think it's instantly likable.
Yeah.
So, is this pop? Is this on the radio?
I don't know. I don't really listen to the radio, but I know she had a song that got pretty popular called Motion Sickness.
Sounds very authentic.
Right? Like, this song has 7 million views on the YouTube, so it's a good bit. So, but it's not crazy.
Is this
Like,
like
I
a
really
real
like
band?
this song. Yeah, yeah. I think she does have a full band.
Yeah, I do listen to stuff like this. I've got stuff like this in my collection.
Yeah. So you like this?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a time and place where this just hits so right, you know? You want different days, different moods. So also, I love the music video. Like, I like this kind of mellow, kind of indie, gazy type pop stuff.
It reminds me of dream pop a little bit.
Yes, like dream pop, yeah.
Good vocals too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think job well done on this one.
Yeah, is it you like this? Is it you're into this? Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Alright, I gotta show you this follow track from
Go
McAviscan
ahead.
because
Go for
there's
it.
the end of this song like literally fills me with joy.
Okay.
And like I'm completely miserable, like nothing does that to me. This does that to me.
I'm sorry you're completely miserable, dude.
This was the payoff. Like when I heard this, I went, I'm glad I spent my money on this.
Okay.
Some of that complicated drum stuff going on there as well, if you listen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not leaving, I'm just standing up, still have my headphones on. Yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna check out this whole record. So
This is the moment now coming up, this build up. You listen to this.
okay. A little melodicness in the background's nice.
That's my new band, man.
I'll show you. That's good. I'm going to show you a song that I think always brings me joy, that I think is very positive here. I like positivity, dude. So, have you ever heard of Escape from the Zoo?
I know that it's someone from Days and Days.
Yeah, have you listened to it?
I don't believe I've listened to a full song.
Okay. I'm going to show you the song called Learning Curve. Learning Curve. This is, I think, an awesome song. And I'll see if you like it.
So how many Days and Days members are in this band?
I want to say maybe 2. I can't remember. I know it's the guy vocalist. I think someone else.
Light years from perfect, I ain't no saint. Taking my missteps, I made my mistakes, full body's perfect.
Actual drums on this one?
But I sure ain't
Hmm?
throwing rocks.
Actual drums?
Yep.
We build glass houses and paint the walls with murals of brick and mortar to ignore our faults. As if all of our closets don't contain at least deposits of that stark ivory bone. Just when I say you're not alone and you have
Here it comes.
felt like you are a lost cause, you don't deserve love. Your past embarrassments will haunt you till your blood runs cold. Ignore the voices, you're fucking worth it. Mistakes are how you learn and not end up a shitty person.
Awesome chorus. What do you think so far?
So far, it makes me want to listen to Misanthropic Drunken Loner. But it's good. It's good.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, Misanthropic Drunken Loner is their best song, so.
Yeah.
Can't focus on what just collapsed, we're gonna focus on what we can build. Scour the detritus, salvage scraps to forge a shield, cause life's unceasing. But you ain't no weakling, dig your heels and block the
It's good
blows.
vocals.
When I say you're not alone, if you have ever felt like
You are a lost cause. You don't deserve love.
your list of failures you can never ever outrun. Ignore the voices, you're fucking worth it. Failure's how you grow and not be.
So did Days and Days end and that's why this band started?
I think so. I'm not sure. It might just be a side project. But I love this song. If I ever want to be in a good mood, I just put on Learning Curve by Escape the Zoo. So, but Days and Days had a lot of songs that make me feel good.
A lot. I'm still getting Jeff Rosen stock vibes as well, or maybe I just can't get Jeff out my head.
Hey man, the Jeff effect is real.
Ignore the voice that you're fucking worth it. Just listen close. Trust me when I say.
It's good, man. I don't think you've done a bad job at introducing me to new music.
Well, thank you. I think I did a pretty fair job. So, I guess you want to go over some legacy bands or something like that.
So, just to wrap up with then, let's talk a little bit about some of these legacy bands. Obviously, No Effects have just ended, and I don't know if I believe that. What do you think? Are they going to reunite in a couple of years? What's going on?
I don't know. Probably. I could care less. Like, I'm not interested in any music No Effects makes at this point. I haven't been interested in any music No Effects makes at this point. Probably since like Coaster. Like, I bought Coaster, and it's grown on me a little bit more. As like, there's some good stuff about Coaster, but that definitely felt like I'm just not too interested. When the 2010s happened, I stopped caring about legacy bands, and I was only about new bands or going back and listening to like 90s stuff. Like I feel like everyone just had a flop around the 2010s. Like Blink released. I mean, you thought they sucked with Untitled, but Blink released Neighborhoods, which has grown on me as well, but is not definitely not a good record. Like Sum 41 released Screaming Bloody Murder. No Effects released Coaster, which wasn't all that good to me in the beginning. Bad Religion, Descent of Man. It was like everyone was just releasing like a trash album after trash album in 2010s if they were still making music. But yeah, I mean, so I don't really care what NoFX does at this point, to be all honest. So
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna spend any money on their new music. But go ahead, as you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you mentioned you had a NoFX tattoo.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I probably the worst tattoo on the planet, which is a NoFX tattoo. Would you like to see it?
Yes, go on.
All right.
That's hardcore though.
Yeah. So I got that. There's a whole story behind it. Um, I'll try to make it as short as possible as I can because there's like multiple ways to tell this story where I've told it to people sometimes, especially when we're just sitting around and drinking and chatting. I'll tell people how I got this tattoo and I'll attach a bunch of stuff to it. So I can make it very long or very short. But essentially what happened, if you're down to hear the story real quick, there's a whole build up to me getting this tattoo. So I had like a group of friends, which was like Travis and Cody, and we were all into punk rock, and then kind of everyone, and my cousin Dylan and my friend Monique, and that was kind of the four crew of us that were into like punk music and stuff like that. And everyone else, we just kind of showed up at house parties and stuff like that and hung out with people. Well, we had a friend, I forget his name because I wasn't that big of friends with him. I want to say his name is Aaron. He was a tattoo artist. Basically, he had a homebrewed tattoo kit. And he ended up meeting a girl and going all the way down to North Carolina. 1 week later, he contacts us and he says, "You guys need to come down here and get me out of here." So he met this girl, moved all the way down to North Carolina. 1 week later, something happened where he regretted it. And he's like, "I need to get out of here." But he had no ride. He had no money. He was stuck down there. I, at the time, just took a couple mushrooms. And we were all hanging out at, I believe, Travis's house. And Danny was like, "Aaron's down in North Carolina. He needs us to get him." And stuff like that. And mushrooms started hitting me. So I said, "Yeah, we can do it. Fuck it. I have a car, but I don't have enough money for the gas down there." My buddy Cody was like, I literally get paid tomorrow, dude. It's all good. We'll have enough money to get down there and back." I said, "Okay, but I can't drive. I just took mushrooms." So we give Danny the car, who has a learner's permit, can't even drive yet. Start driving down to North Carolina. If you don't know, from my location down to North Carolina is about 8.5, 9 hours drive. So it's a bit of a trek. So we're driving down there. It's pouring rain. I'm starting to trip. Everything's getting fucking nuts and crazy. And Danny's in the car, but she's driving like 30 miles per hour on the highway because doesn't drive really. She has a learner's permit. And she's going so slow. And I turned to her and I said, "Danny, you got to drive faster. We've got 9 hours to get down there. We can't be going 30 miles down the highway." And she's like, "I just can't drive fast. The storm's too bad. The storm's too bad." So I say, "Pull over." Then I get in the passenger seat and I drive all the way down to North Carolina. That whole fucking trip, tripping on fucking mushrooms the whole time. So that was pretty wild. It's probably a very dangerous thing to do, but I drove perfectly fine. We get down there. We pick Aaron up. Cody lied. There was no money, so we were stuck down there in North Carolina. I had my acoustic guitar, and we went down to the boardwalk, started playing songs, putting the thing out, trying to get money. Eventually, we get enough money and we get help to go all the way back. So Aaron, he thanks me, says, "Look, man, I'm going to give you a free tattoo once I get the chance to." So fast forward to there's a house party at this kid's Thor's house. Thor was a rich kid. Whose parents lived all the way up at the top floor, and he had the basement, and he would just throw parties down in the basement all the time. So we'd always go over to his house, rich kid throwing parties. So Aaron was giving out free tattoos at this party. Now, everyone who got a tattoo at this party grew to regret it. So Aaron is not like a professional tattoo artist. He has like this shitty little tattoo kit. All right. So I'm down there with my friend Monique. We're at this party in the basement of this rich kid's house, and we start drinking beers. And also, I took a tab of acid, so I was there. So we're drunk. I think we took down a whole bottle of Jägermeister and a bunch of beers. So I'm totally drunk. I'm starting to trip balls, and I go in to get my tattoo, and I'm trying to figure out what I want as a tattoo. So I find a napkin, I find a pen, and I draw this. I just draw it on a napkin. That's all I do. And I look at it, and I look at my friend Monique, and I say, damn, I probably shouldn't get this on me. Like, I'm looking at the drawing I get, and she goes, yeah, probably not, but it would be pretty fucking punk rock if you did. And I was just like, yeah, it would be actually. And I say, dude, go ahead and do it. So I'm drunk as hell. I'm bleeding constantly. He's running out of paper towels for like all the blood that is pouring out of my arm while he's trying to tattoo me. My friend Monique also took a tab of acid, and she starts tripping, and she's running around the room going woo woo, and then she comes up to me and she's like, I love you, bro, and gives me a hug in the middle of the tattoo and hits the needle. It stabs into me, and I'm bleeding even more. And he runs out of paper towels and says that he can't finish the tattoo, but next time he sees me, he'll finish it. I never see Aaron again. He never finishes it. I don't take care of it. Pieces of it fell off, and now this is permanently on me. And I think the very next day, the reason I got the NoFX tattoo was because we were going to go see NoFX the next day. So I went with my raw, probably slightly infected tattoo to the NoFX concert and got into the pit and everything. And literally, like a piece of it fell off. It was like absolutely disgusting. So that is the story of how I got that tattoo. And it's permanently on me for the rest of my life. But there we go.
Did you know the band Negative FX that they named themselves after?
Yes, I know Negative FX, yeah, but they were copying Bad Religion, kind of like an homage to the Bad Religion symbol. So I don't know if Negative FX has something. I think they just have like the FX or something like that. I have to look up what it looks like, but that's the story of how I got that tattoo. So I also have a Rancid one, which looks a lot better. So,
Okay.
but
Fuck, marry, kill, John, Dylan, Lewis. What are you doing?
what the hell, dude? Did you ask John this question?
No.
What the hell? Fuck, marry, kill. Let's see here. Gosh, man. That's a weird question. If I had to answer honestly, I had to kill Dylan. I'm gonna have to kill Dylan. I mean, it sucks to say. So, um, Dylan, being married to Dylan would, I feel like we'd always get into arguments all the time. It wouldn't work out, and so I guess I'll fuck Lewis. So, and I guess I'll marry John since John seems to be like a responsible guy. I think he'd be like a good husband. I feel like he's a good husband to his wife, so I feel like he'd treat me just right. And so that's my answer to the bizarre question you proposed for me.
That was a very serious answer, and I feel like it was well thought out as well.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I've been waiting for someone to pop that question. But yeah, we can do this again sometime if you want. So
Yeah, definitely.
anytime if you want to go through some records or something.
Yeah, that would be great. I do want to get Dylan on to talk about Less Than Jake. So if you could mention that you had a good time talking to me to him, and then maybe he'll be more into that
He'll
idea.
do it. So
Yeah.
he'll do it. Oh, we have to ask him. If you just asked him, he'd say, "Yeah, I guarantee you." So
Hopefully Lewis will as well, and then I've got all of you.
we'll see. Lewis will probably be the toughest one to get on your show. So,
You think?
Lewis is the toughest one to get on. Not get on, like he'll get on. It's just his he's the one who has like the most busy schedule as well. And so
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try and add
That's-
all of you to my collection.
yeah, collect us all, man.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks so much for doing this, dude. It's been a good day, I think.
All right. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. A good time, man. So thank you for having me on, bro. I appreciate that,
All right, man.
dude. So Don't forget to subscribe to Jay Bleed's channel down below. Crash and Bleed, is this one called, or is it going to be called Podcrash?
Crash and Bleed.
Crash and Bleed. All right, there you go.
yeah.
Subscribe to Crash and Bleed.
If you're watching this video, hopefully you subscribe to Punk Rock Radar too.
Check us out as well. So,
Yeah, man.
hell yeah, man.
Right.
All right, bro.
All right, dude. Catch you
Yep.
later, buddy.
Peace out, man.